and even a run for the presidency. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Keith Carradine as Will Rogers.
Democrats and Republicans, I'm asking for your vote. Well, I've got this defunct party with some new ideas to float. Don't ask me what my platform is, I leave that stuff alone. Cause no one keeps those promises, as history has shown. I'll run a clean campaign and that will be my winning cause. Considering the kind you've had, well, that won't be too hard.
Mr. Chairman, the great Sooner State of Oklahoma, like clean, sweet, fine acclamation, we proudly place in nomination. The great Sooner State of Oklahoma, cast its 22 votes with dependent Dear Rogers, with dependent Dear Rogers, with dependent Dear Rogers. The elephant comes and Democrat comes, he will be down the drain and some. Today the people's victory is won. The spirit and funk, he's gonna debunk the Jeffrey Johnson. They've been feeding us. Hooray for favorite son.
Good evening. When my partner Elaine May and I got to New York 34 years ago to perform in a nightclub, the very first people back to see us were Betty and Adolph, and they were the most generous and the kindest. And Betty Comden and Adolph Green became, to me, the very center of everything that's funny and vital about New York and the theater in New York. I'll tell you a story about Adolph to illustrate. We were a large group of people in a movie. We went to see a movie, and it was a war movie. And there came the moment in the movie in which a man on screen said, "And in those moments I tasted death. Do you know the taste of death?" And Adolph said, not quietly, "Yes, it tastes like chicken." There was a time in California when Betty was being given a ride home by our beloved Maureen Stapleton, who has the soul of an angel and the tongue of 3 stevedores. And Betty was driven home by Maureen for quite a long journey. Maureen's language, because of the occasion, I will have to ask you to imagine. But she turned the air in the car blue, and when Betty was finally deposited in front of the house in which she was staying, you'll have to forgive me, but we have an obligation to the truth. Betty, looking slightly dazed, said, would you like to come in for a cup of tea? Betty and Adolf live and write in a place where dreams are born and plans are never made. It's not on any chart. You can find it with your heart. I've always thought that when we all get to heaven, that for state occasions, they'll probably play John Philip Sousa and Irving Berlin, but that at the party afterwards, God will say, do you think we can get Betty and Adolf to do something?
The Bronx, 1914. And here's Adolf wondering, what if we... No. Brooklyn. Betty answering, why not? She was a theater major at NYU, and Adolf was an unemployed actor with whom she shared a passion for Gilbert and Sullivan, Noel Coward, the Marx Brothers, and an unmistakable New York turn of mind. Their friend, Judy Holliday, talked the owner of a nightclub into giving them a job. It was only a one-night stand. That night, they became the Reviewers, satire's spoofy sensation.
Gentlemen, Plowman's Javanese for the Hollywood premiere of that $6 million quickie, epic...
The act couldn't afford a writer, so Betty and Adolf became one.
This picture launches...
Their literary lunacy didn't exactly pull them in.
Great Hollywood tradition.
Only their friend Leonard Bernstein came night after night. He rushed the producers of his first Broadway show to see them, saying, meet our lyricists. We were green, just off the boat, they said. They wrote with one mind, right from the start. And wrote themselves 2 parts in the show.
I try hard to stay controlled, but I get carried away.
Go to my place.
Let's see Wanamaker's store.
Go to my place.
On the Town won the town, clinched their partnership, became a movie, and immortalized the city they loved.
Manhattan women are all in silk and satin, so the fellas say. There's just one thing necessary in Manhattan when you got just one day. Gotta pick up a date, maybe 7 or 8 on your way in just one day.
New York, a wonderful town. The Bronx is up and the Battery's down. The people riding all on the ground. New York, it's a wonderful town.
When they set their sights on old-time movie stars, they changed the way we feel about rain forever.
Singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds. The
theater wasn't another place to write. It was why they wrote. The chance to dance with words set to a Broadway beat.
We got a call one day from director George Abbott who said, look, I've got this terrific book here for a musical comedy. We have an absolutely marvelous star, Rosalind Russell. There's just two things we're still lacking. We don't have the lyrics, we don't have the music.
That's a sure way to lose a man. A sure
A theater
way.
critic marveled,
A splendid
wonderful
way.
town, wonderful lyrics, wonderful show. The theater got a wonderful gift last night.
There is no feeling more secretly delicious for a writer in the theater than to be called in out of town when someone else's show is in trouble.
We got a call from the producer, Leland Hayward, and the director, Jerome Robbins. They were up in San Francisco with Peter Pan and were thinking of closing it.
Who's the swiniest swine in the world?
Captain Hook! Captain Hook!
Who's the dirtiest dog in this wonderful world?
Captain Hook! Captain Hook!
Every now and then, you write a song that's perfect for the character, and it works beautifully in the book of the show, and the song also becomes a song hit. Well, this has happened to us just a few times, and mostly from the show Bells Are Ringing, which we wrote for our dear and old friend, Judy Holliday.
The party's over. Time to call it a day.
Comden and Green, a partnership of 50 years, a legacy of joy.
Ladies and gentlemen, a 1982 Kennedy Center honoree, Gene Kelly.
That group they were in, the reviewers, I was there with them in the summer of 1940. You see, I knew Betty and Adolph long before the world knew Comden and Green. We were, I guess, a bunch of kids then and thought we could do anything. The truth was, they could. I remember when the studio handed them a title, a catalog of songs, and told them to write an original screenplay. Well, they wrote the script, and it was sent over to me to read. I read it, and I not only accepted it, I jumped at it. And I'm here tonight, Betty and Adolph, to thank you for all those things, and to tell you how great it makes me feel to see you guys sitting up there. You know, because of you, somewhere tonight, on some screen, and maybe every night, I'm just singing and singing in the rain.
Ladies and gentlemen, Carol Burnett.
Betty and Adolph have written so many wonderful lines, characters for Broadway shows, for films, for television shows, and there's one line that is standing out in my mind this evening, and it was said by the wonderful, brilliant Gene Hagen in Singin' in the Rain. Gene Hagen played this ditzy, dippy movie star who talked like this. I think about this now because I feel that possibly sitting up there in that box next to the President of the United States, they have to be may be thinking about this, and I'm going to quote what Gene Hagen said in that movie that they wrote.
It makes us feel that all our hard work ain't been in vain for nothing.
And Betty and Adolph have written of many, many things, and one of the themes that seems to carry through so much of their work is about love. And here to sing Comden and Green's lyrics of love are Patti LuPone and Howard McGillen.
It's love, well, who would have thought it?
If this is love, then why have I fought it?
I've heard it said you'll know it when you see it.
Well, I see it.
I know it is love. What a day. Fortune smiled and came my way, bringing love I never thought I'd see. I'm so lucky to be me. What a night. Suddenly you came in sight, looking just the way I hoped you'd be. I'm so lucky to be me. I am simply thunderstruck at this change in my luck. You at once I wanted you, never dreamed you'd want me to. I'm so proud you chose me from all the crowd. There's no other guy I'd rather be. I could laugh out loud. I'm so lucky to be me.
Our town's a lonely town when you pass through, and there is no one waiting there for you. Then it's a lonely town. You wander up and down. The crowds rush by. A million faces pass before your eye. Still, it's a lonely town unless there's love. All of that shining like a harbor light. You're lost in the night unless there's love. The world's an empty place, and every time a lonely
Just in time, I found you just in time. Before you came, my time was running low.
I was lost, the losing dice were tossed, my bridges all were crossed, nowhere to go.
Now you're here, and now I know just where I'm going. No more doubt or fear. just in time and changed my lonely life that lovely day. You changed my lonely life that lovely
Ladies and gentlemen, Lauren Bacall.
The party's over. It's time to call it a day. They've burst your pretty balloon and taken the moon away. It's time to wind up the masquerade. Just make your mind up. The piper must be paid. Lyrics by Comden and Green. Those of us who've worked with Adolph and Betty have boundless admiration, not just for their work, but also for their partnership. In the rough, competitive, often abrasive world of show business, Betty and Adolph have been working together for 52 years. With Betty in the honor box is her daughter, Susanna Kyle. With Adolph is his son, Adam. And here on the Kennedy Center stage is Adolph's wife, Phyllis Newman, and their daughter, Amanda.
I'm so proud. Adolph and Betty, this is something that you know how to do very well. Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. Make just one heart the heart you sing to. One smile that cheers you. One face that lights when it nears you. One man you're everything to. Babe, if you win it, comes and goes in a minute. Where's the real stuff in life? Cling to. Love is the answer. Someone to love is the answer. Once you found him, build your world around him. Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. And you will be happy too. You'll be happy too. You'll be happy too.
We've got one day here and not another minute to see the famous sights. We'll find the romance and danger waiting in it beneath the Broadway lights. But we've hair on our chests, so what we like the best are the nights. Sights, lights, nights. New York, New York, a hell of a town. The Bronx is up, but the battery's down. The people riding all in the ground. New York, New York, it's a hell of a town.
Manhattan women are just as simple satin. I saw the fellas say, there's just one thing that's important in Manhattan. When you've got just one day, gotta pick up a day, maybe 7 or 8 on your way. And just one day, New York, New York,
New York, a hell of a town. The Bronx is up, but the battery's down. The people in the whole New York, New York, it's a hell of a
Thank you. The Nicholas Brothers. I'm just, yeah. Harold and Fayard. Yes, I am so proud to be here to honor you tonight. I feel like my life has been connected to you for so long. When I was 7 years old, my brother and I had a tap act, the Hines Brothers, and everywhere we went, people would say, "You guys are like the next Nicholas Brothers. You are just like the Nicholas Brothers. You're going to be the next Nicholas Brothers." And I hadn't seen you yet. And then I saw the film Stormy Weather, and I realized that we were not going to be the next Nicholas Brothers. The things that you did, the way you would jump up in the air and just do fantastic things and then just land in a split and then come up without using your hands. I mean, it just, many dancers were just awestruck, and we felt so good. We felt so good to be tap dancers because you were. What I am today and what many of us are, so many of us, so many people who lace up tap shoes, we owe to you. We owe so much to you, and we love you so much, Harold and Fayard. God bless you.
In the 20s in Philadelphia, while other kids played at being kids, Fayard headed straight for the vaudeville house, where his parents were musicians in the orchestra. Of all the acts, the dancers were his favorite. He picked up steps, made them his own, then taught them to his baby brother. His father advised, "Son, make your whole body dance. Give it your own style." My brother said Harold was the only teacher I ever had. The Cotton Club, the hottest night spot in New York, gambled on the kids, put them on with the Duke.
If you're feeling low down, 'cause the skies are gray, just wrap your
Song and dance men, they stopped the show.
dance your cares away.
Darlings of black entertainment, Vitaphone showcased them in novelty musical reviews.
Lucky number, oh, dreaming of lucky number, hoping that those lucky numbers will show for me. Numbers gonna show for you and me. Superstitious, or even makes me suspicious. Table with 13 dishes.
They were just kids, but with a grown-up act the world couldn't wait to see.
Hey, that's
From Broadway to Buenos Aires to Buckingham Palace.
put my trust in group of dust. 'Cause you know someday it may bring you a 7. Or maybe a lucky 11. Oh, then you'll be in heaven. Lucky number for me. Yeah!
In London, they gave a command performance the night Prince Charles was born. The only thing they were out of step with was the times. They arrived in Hollywood ready to act.
Have you seen the well-to-do
White dancers were getting their chance,
on that famous thoroughfare with their noses in the air?
but studios were afraid of offending white audiences. A black movie star? In the 40s? It was unthinkable. They never even got close to a speaking part. It was dance in a 3-minute bit or nothing. They made it everything. Gene Kelly recalls, they had the agility of athletes and the grace of ballet dancers. This was more than just tapping. This was great dancing. It took 2 generations and a different America to rediscover just how much they had to offer.
You should care for
Their style shines through, captured forever in movies, dancing across time.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lou Gossett, Jr.
I was born in the late 30s in Brooklyn, New York, Sheepshead Bay, Coney Island area. My mother was a domestic and my father was a porter and a chauffeur, both of whom I was extremely proud of. And the highlight of their week was on Thursday nights when they would get dressed in their finest. My mother with 2 pairs of shoes, one to wear to look good in and the other to dance with. And they would get along with my aunts and uncles and get on the BMT and go up to Harlem and dance at the Savoy Ballroom. And if they were fortunate enough and had a few more nickels, they would go to the Apollo Theater where they would see Duke Ellington, young Lena Horne, Cab Calloway, and the highlight of the evening, of course, was the Nicholas Brothers. And when I got old enough, they took me to a Sunday matinee to the Apollo, and I saw the Nicholas Brothers. They taught me what class was. They had tuxedos, white tie and tails. They would do splits. They'd do things that were completely, as I know now, as the epitome of class of America. I salute the Nicholas Brothers for making an indelible impression on my life. Thank you.
Tap dancing was born in America, and Fayard and Harold Nicholas made it a joyous, enduring part of our nation's artistic heritage. And we have good news tonight. The tap shoes have been picked up by a new generation, and the very best of the new generation have come here to pay tribute to the masters. First, in the tradition and style of the Nicholas Brothers, Ted and Van.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the style of modern tap, the Steps Ahead Tap Trio. Tap dancing's new wizard, Savion Glover. Now, the master, Gregory Hines.
Nicholas Brother step. Hi.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here to say some words about my friend Roy Acuff. We came from...
I first met him 40 years ago. The movie was Roman Holiday. He was Gregory Peck. And I was a totally unknown. He guided me with such gentleness, patience, and fun through those glorious months on the set, when I first learned about the miracle of movie making. I also learned what the whole world now knows. Gregory Peck is the most authentic actor of our time. If I were given one word to describe Greg, it would be dimension. And I'm not referring to his height, but to the inner dimension he gave to the characters he created. He showed the simplicity in great men and greatness in simple men. Through almost 50 years and just more than 50 films, his quiet strength has shone forth from the screen. He's a giant who is basically self-effacing, but never afraid to take a stand, in life as well as in his movies. Because he was willing to fight the studio executives when they didn't want to take the risk, we have Gentleman's Agreement and its landmark exposure to anti-Semitism. Only because he wanted to play the part did they make To Kill a Mockingbird. Dearest Greg, to your generosity, I owe my career. For your courage and integrity, you have my deepest respect. For your friendship, your goodness, and your humor, you have all my love.
I like to make movies. It's my way of telling stories to people.
He grew up in La Jolla, a small California town where everyone knew your name. His was Eldred Gregory Peck. His best friend was his dog, Bud. Their favorite hangout was the town library. He was a journalism major at Berkeley until a drama director tapped him on the shoulder and asked if he would appear in a play. They needed someone tall. He was awkward and uncomfortable, but he was also changed. I was gone on acting, he said. This was the way I could talk to people. This was the way I could tell them stories. Only the neighborhood playhouse in New York would do. Here, drama was serious social stuff. Here, he learned his craft. Broadway critics liked him. Hollywood too. But when he went west to make movies, he didn't expect to stay.
I know why you came in.
Why?
Because something has happened to us.
But it doesn't happen like that. In a day.
It happens in a moment sometimes. I felt it this afternoon. It was like lightning striking. It strikes rarely.
The legend is that if you're given to lying, you put your hand in there, it'll be bitten off.
Oh, the hard idea.
Let's see you do it.
Let's see you do it.
Sure.
Director John Huston said, he has a colossal dignity and great masculinity. He's got size.
Ball, I say! I'll run you through! St. Elmo's fires! Have mercy on us! Mark it well. It lights our way to the white whale.
There were some movies he insisted on making, even when the studios tried to back down.
And Tom Robinson now sits before you. A quiet, humble, respectable Negro who has had the unmitigated temerity to feel sorry for a white woman. Has had to put his word against two white peoples. The defendant is not guilty. But somebody in this courtroom is. Now, gentlemen, in this country, our courts are the great levelers. In our courts, all men are created equal.
The size of a man is measured by the image he reflects of the best within ourselves. He is our full measure of a man.
Miss Jean Louise? Miss Jean Louise, stand up. Your father's passing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to introduce a 1984 Kennedy Center honoree, Isaac Stern.
When we first met and became friends in 1965, in the original group that founded the National Endowment, I first began to know you as your own man, your own person, away from this famous personality on the screen. Two things became very clear very soon. There are very few people whom we know who can wear easily the words courtly and grace. And these are the words with which one instantly begins to describe you. And beyond that, this passionate feeling, this humanity that you have for what is right, for what you feel is right. A few hours ago, the president said, "You're an actor's actor." May I say to you, Greg, with great love, you're an American's American. Your grandmother came from County Kerry in Northern Ireland. Your father had a very rich brogue and called you the film actor. What does one do for a bonny broth of a lad but play an Irish tune? And so, with the help of Miss Betty Bullock, we will play for you a most well-known Irish tune, the air that came from Londonderry. It was a simple Irish air. It went like this.
Stapleton.
Good evening. When I was in high school in New York City, we were allowed to write under our picture in the senior yearbook one phrase which expressed our ambition. I put down music critic. My reason was that music critics get free tickets to concerts. But then suddenly I was in concerts because right after I graduated, I read an ad about something called the Collegiate Chorale, which was being organized by a young conductor named Robert Shaw. The idea was that a chorus could be more than just a glee club, but I rushed down there to audition, and I was accepted. I was one of 200. And we had the most wonderful, intense Monday evenings. What I remember most about Robert Shaw in those days was his passion for the music and his palpable joy. He would settle for no less than perfect. Robert Shaw, you moved music into a new dimension. You made us sing with one voice. And the world stopped and listened. For the son of a preacher in Red Bluff, California, singing was the sound of Sunday. For Robert Shaw, it was the sweetest day of the week. It was more than just the tempo of the music that changed. The first year, he sang with the Glee Club. The next year, he led it.
Hello, everybody, and thanks for coming. This is Fred Waring and the Pennsylvanians.
When they begin,
Fred Waring brought him to New York, to radio, and to national fame. But conducting popular music wasn't enough to hold him. After hours, in a drafty church basement, he auditioned 2,000 for a choir of 200. He took recreational singers, invested them with his dream, and shaped them into a single instrument of universal harmony. And then word came down from on high. If you want to stay, keep it to members of the church. Get rid of the Catholics, the Jews, and the blacks. Instead, he left the church. There had never been a choir good enough for Arturo Toscanini, good enough for Carnegie Hall. Had there? Toscanini, said Shaw, lifted me out of the entertainment field and turned my appetites and hunger toward the classical tradition. Said Toscanini, in Shaw, I found the maestro I have been looking for. together, they made the world listen.
Every time I feel a spirit moving in my heart, I will pray.
We find each other, he said. We invite the miracle to begin. When he became conductor of the Atlanta Symphony, he said, if arts have a place in society, they must be part of the community. To be an artist is not the privilege of a few, but the necessity of us all.
Our next artist was a student at Indiana University when Robert Shaw brought her to Atlanta to be a soloist with that city's symphony. He conducted her New York Philharmonic debut, and this year she makes her debut at the Metropolitan Opera. Ladies and gentlemen, Sylvia McNair.
Jerome Kern wrote this song for your sister Holly, and I'm delighted to sing it for you tonight. Thank you so much for everything you've given us. Time and again I've longed for adventure, something to make my heart beat the faster. What did I long for? Touching your hand, my heart beats the faster. All that I want in all of this world is you. Long
Ladies and gentlemen, from Atlanta, Georgia, the Morehouse College Glee Club.
Care and sorrow now be gone. Brothers in song, sing on. Brothers, sing on, sing on.
Mr. Shaw, Atlanta's African American community is grateful for a meaningful conglomeration of you, the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra, and the Atlanta Symphony Chorus. So it pleases us tonight to thank you and honor you with a Nigerian Christmas song, Betelehemu. In the Yoruba dialect, this song screams to a city of wonder, Bethlehem.
Robert Shaw's lifetime achievement has been to bring mankind together in song. Tonight, joining Morehouse College from Atlanta is his own Atlanta Symphony Orchestra Chorus with its conductor William Fred Scott, joined by Sylvia McNair. From our nation's capital, the chorus that has sung for Robert Shaw on so many occasions, the Choral Arts Society of Washington. With young men and women from cities and towns all across America, the United States Naval Academy Glee Club. And representing the Collegiate Chorale, distinguished alumna Gene Stapleton. These choristers stand here in tribute to Robert Shaw, who has said, "The only crescendo of importance is the crescendo of the human heart."